common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
Todd Butterfield.
There's not a ton to talk about today. Obviously, Consensus Invest 2018 was today. We'll talk a little bit about what they had going on over there, and I'll show you a link where, if you're interested, they have 9 hours of recorded footage from the Consensus Crypto event, particularly focusing on institutional grade crypto investment and really where crypto and blockchain technology can and will be used moving forward in your guys' everyday life. Some pretty interesting topics, and to really see what some of these hedge funds, crypto funds, institutional investors, NASDAQ, ICE, Grayscale, etc., where they think and when they think money will be coming into this space. A lot of them are optimistic, to say the least, for the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and really said they have been dollar cost averaging all the way down from 19K till today. A lot of them think we're about 75% through the bear market. May have some lower lows. They don't really know the low of the price, but again, believe that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will match all-time and surpass all-time highs, and the utilization of these networks will gain mass adoption moving forward. What's going on over there, Todd?
Not much. I thought we'd get a little bit of recovery here, and I think that's what we're doing, and maybe a little higher for the next 48 hours, and then I'm anxious to see if we try the downside again.
Shout out to everybody in here: Bud Time, Clifford Chapman, Johnny M. Cool, Wog, Scott, a couple people finally catching us for the first time in a while, Nicholas, etc. We got people from all over the globe. And we got Paul in here saying, I've watched all sorts of crypto stuff today, and now for the guys who actually know what they're talking about. Well, shout out to you, Paul. Really appreciate that. So there you go. We try to do our best. Obviously, at times the market can remain irrational, but getting the proper explanation and proper knowledge will only help you moving forward pertaining to macro fundamentals, crypto news, and technical analysis.
And we don't delete any videos or tweets or anything of the sort.
That's true. We're not the type of people that you see all over crypto Twitter and YouTube who delete videos that don't come true and keep videos that do, etc. We put it all on the line, and we admit when we were wrong and show off when we were right, and that's what we try to do here. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and we will be giving away some ZEN, some cryptocurrency from last night's live show, and we'll be giving some away tonight's live show as well to hopefully ease the pain of this bear market, and kind of say thank you to the community members and those of you in the crypto space that are hanging in here. And shout out to Bamboo Ben. Welcome to Learn Crypto. And if you want to enter in the Horizon ZEN giveaway, leave a comment in the comments section below with your Horizon ZEN public wallet address, and that's it. You are entered to win. We draw a lucky winner each and every live show, and we'll send you that crypto free of charge just for being an active community member for Learn Crypto. See what we got here. Market cap is up $3 billion since last night, $126.3 billion. Bitcoin dominance still holding over 53%, and Bitcoin seeing a little bit of green here at 38.54. Philocone, some of you guys may know him. He's usually a short-term trader, but he said he's opening a leveraged long position with a Bitcoin 4K target. So we'll see what happens. I think we're seeing maybe a little bump here. This is what we were talking about, Todd was talking about yesterday, that we might see a little bit of a bump here. This does not mean that the downside is over by any means, but I think the settling of the Bitcoin Cash hash wars a little bit, as well as Consensus Invest 2018, with a lot of good news coming out there. 9 hours of pretty positive outlooks even during these downtimes as far as price is concerned, I think helped give the markets a little bit of relief from the downward pressure And we're seeing that here. XRP up 2.9%, Ethereum up 4%, Stellar Lumens up 2%, and everything looking decent across the board. Guess what's not looking decent? Bitcoin SV. Bitcoin SV, when we were live yesterday, was up 20%. I said I would not be touching that, and if you had it, maybe you should take some profits because you finally got to ride some kind of positive direction for Bitcoin Cash. It is down 22% today, falling to the number 9 position, and really I think its rightful place is somewhere down in here around 20 with a 350 million market cap. Now, do I think it's going to go that low? No. I mean, Craig Wright is not going to let that happen. He's going to pump money into this project to keep this price afloat. But I think that you could easily see some more downward pressure on Bitcoin SV as more and more individuals are starting to collect that Bitcoin SV fork, the free coin there. And it looks like a lot of people don't really want to be part of the contentious community as they continue to sell their free cryptocurrency. You got a few charts to look at for us, Todd, and we got some news. A ZEN giveaway. It might be kind of a short show tonight, but we wanted to make sure to get on here, especially since we had that little bit of a holiday break.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about. I mean, my software, 5-minute charts are working perfect. Daily, I'm having an issue with the OP. I'd rather almost take the OP out of here because I know that it's not correct. But, I mentioned yesterday, technometers on a lot of coins are 41, 42, 43. So it looks like we could do a flag here or a sideways correction. I'm anxious to see how that works and then how the next sell-off. This was Ethereum that I showed. OP, lower right, hitting new lows while price held. I thought that'd give us a little bit of rally here for a day or two. And I think that's what's still in store. And same thing with Litecoin, new lows in the OP, price holding. So a little strength here maybe for a day or two. But the technometers aren't coming off oversold here, so I don't think, I don't think we're making the major low here. Maybe we need another tag down and reversal before we get that. So not much else. I'm going to quickly just show the stocks open lower today. You can see here from the Wyckoff wave and closed on the highs. I think stocks are still headed higher. And, gold and silver came off a little bit today. So not impressed by that. This is American Barrick that I've been long. We did come up here and go through the highs. Really, we just kind of up thrusted the highs. I don't want to see this low taken out. I do have stops at 1228 from my earlier longs back here. So gold and silver I still thought was good longer term here, but I'm not quite sure here. We should stay strong. Dollar went up and tagged a new high. So I was saying maybe wait for that to get short. Technometer's back to 44, so I'm not short here yet, but still want to be. And then we've had Square on here showing it. Nothing to say on Square. We did go up to 49.89, so I would have a sell here on Square if I was long. I would not sell a short, I don't think, but it's going to be a while before I get a buy signal on Square. It looks like. So and then how about Overstock is the one that had that big jump 2 days ago, and gave it right back. The LP did go to a new low here the last 3-4 days while price is holding. I would think this one's cheap. I know there's a lot of big holders of this looking for big things. So that one might be worth picking up here, or at least staying close to attention. And then quickly, I was going to go over this yesterday. Some of the marijuana stocks, some subscribers are on. The software has been decent over here. We did have, you can see a buy sell for a small loss and another buy. Technometer's kind of neutral there. And then till rate, we had a sell on the big spike here on the day, and then we're back to 48 here. So we'd be flat in till rate looking for another buy point. So
cool. We got a couple things here in the chat box. Jack Charter says all the negativity is building, getting closer to the bottom. My opinion here is at these levels, I think that, we're seeing a little bit of a prop up here. I think we, like you said, might see a green for another day or two. But I think that there is, listening to all these institutional guys talk and what's been going on with the market and the chatter on crypto Twitter, etc. I think that we could see one more leg down before the bottom is kind of confirmed. A lot of people are targeting around the 3K mark. And I think we hit as low as, 3.2 or 3.3K already. So we'll just have to see what the price action looks like. There's no real, the most near bullish catalyst is the backed exchange, but that has been pushed back to January of 2019, I believe. So I think really there's not any major bullish catalysts moving forward besides the fact that the hash wars are seemingly over. And a lot of the institutions did come out today and say that they were very bullish on the long term of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which we're about to talk about. There was a couple other things over here going on. People said they're loading up at EOS below $3, as well as XRP at these levels. XRP is one that has remained strong during a lot of this, as well as XLM. I find it really interesting. If you look at XLM on a BTC chart, that thing is hanging in there with the best of them and really on a positive trajectory with putting in higher lows. So that is one that we've been on since the start of the bear market, that we preferred XLM. That was a long hold, and that one obviously has given up some Satoshi value, but is holding in with the best of them and really performing better than any other altcoin. Somebody said, should have sold a BCH a while ago. Yes, we were talking about Bitcoin Cash. Personally, I was saying to sell the Bitcoin Cash leading into the snapshot. I didn't even want to collect the snapshot, and that would have been proven positive. And then yesterday, I reiterated that I don't want anything to do with Bitcoin SV. And with the 20% run-up, you probably should take some profits or sell that bag. And now it is down 22% today.
We did mention yesterday the XLM did look good on the charts. We did have a buy down here near the low, so that I agree with you on that XLM BTC looks good here. That's one that still could lead us higher.
And that's about all we got in the chat box. So let's get into a couple of these quick news articles, and then let's go ahead and do the ZEN giveaway for you guys. Hopefully you guys can fatten up those bags a little bit, even during the times of this bear market. So on a positive note, the New York Stock Exchange chairman, Jeffrey Sprecher, expressed optimism about the survival of digital currencies as an asset class. I'm sure he was on stage and got asked, is Bitcoin dead? And he replied, no, not by any stretch of the imagination. Speaking at the Consensus Invest conference, Sprecher, who is also the CEO of Intercontinental Exchange ICE, said that when he saw headlines asking, will digital assets survive, he said that, quote, the unequivocal answer is yes. We're kind of agnostic to price. Commenting on the Bitcoin futures contract offering, Loeffler said that the backed futures contract will help Bitcoin traders establish a trusted price. Bitcoin now trades at different prices on different exchanges, many of which are unregulated. They are trying to create a regulated and trusted price in place for institutions to invest and trade Bitcoin, whether that is endowments like Yale or whether that is just institutional grade investors moving into the space. You don't really trust Coinbase, Binance, or some of these other exchanges that have seemingly been hacked over the past year or so. Later in May, ICE announced plans to offer traders contracts that eventually result in customers actually owning the underlying BTC. Unlike the current Bitcoin futures price or futures market, where it is cash settled, which really just creates a downward pressure on the Bitcoin price, the ICE and backed futures contracts will actually be settled in Bitcoin, meaning they will be buying Bitcoin from the market, and those who trade it will actually hold the underlying Bitcoin BTC, which is good both for the investor and for the overall health and liquidity of the crypto market. ICE, quote, has had conversations with other financial institutions about setting up a new operation through which banks can buy a contract known as a swap that will end with the customer owning Bitcoin the next day with the backing and security of their exchange. So now they're trying to bring banks into the exchange or into the fold where individuals can actually buy a Bitcoin contract via their bank, and then that will be settled through their account within one business day. That is pretty interesting as well. The overall message of this article here, and really the positivity of this article, is that none of the people at the consensus really, I think maybe one person, was doubtful of where Bitcoin and the utilization goes moving forward. Some were not as bullish as far as the price was concerned, but all of them believed that individuals are going to start utilizing the Bitcoin network, as well as investors and institutions are going to start hedging other investments by adding Bitcoin to their portfolio once this infrastructure is completed. Although backed exchange was supposed to be launched in November, then December, and now they're saying December or January, it is still it's still coming. And, I think they pushed it back a month because of all the volatility we've seen recently with the drop from 6,000 Bitcoin down to 3,800. You can speculate what caused the drop. We think a lot of it was Roger Ver, Craig Wright with the hash wars going on over there, as well as other events. But I think that was the biggest catalyst. And hopefully we can start to find a bottom here. We can start to get a little stable in price so that New York Stock Exchange backed and NASDAQ all start to launch their products, as well as TD Ameritrade and Fidelity with the ErisX exchange that they plan on launching in the second quarter of 2019.
Let me have the charts for just a second. QJ asked about FCT, Factum. This is one we had extremely oversold down here. You can see the light blue circle hidden behind the arrows here. We said we thought when it broke out that it would work higher, which it has done. And then this is the 5-minute. So we had mentioned yesterday when we were really up here in price, volume was slowing up. So we mentioned that possibly we thought a pullback could occur, maybe some type of sideways. We did have a quick run out of there. And I think that was probably a 5th wave by Elliott, and we're probably doing an ABC. So I would probably expect a little bit lower here. And that could still be a good one then longer term, I think.
Chris K9 was asking about basic attention token. I think if you're looking to spend fiat that is cheap here at these levels at around 14 cents. As far as Satoshi value, if you're trading for Bitcoin personally, I've been waiting for the 3,300 level. It's tested the 3,600 sats 2, 3, 4, 5 times now, so I don't know if it's going to break through that. But if we are going to see one more leg down in Bitcoin, maybe basic attention token will hit around that 3 to 3,300K Satoshis. That's really where I have orders at, and I've kind of held strong in those, even though it has failed to break below the 3,600 sats a few times now. Lloyd Christmas says, but Nick, it couldn't have been Craig Wright causing the crash. Satoshi's wallets didn't transfer anything to Binance to sell. If you don't know, Craig Wright claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. That has been kind of proved that was a farce several times. But that is hilarious. That's funny, Lloyd. All right, let's get through a couple lists. Let's do this giveaway real quick because we don't got too much to talk about. If you are interested in gaining some knowledge on what happened at Consensus, I don't want to hammer through what all these guys said. You guys can watch it for yourself. If you go to coindesks.com or to their Twitter account, there is a link. There is 9 hours of footage right here. You can watch it all, skip through it, whatever it may be. I think definitely if you guys are bored, you should put it on the background and get the perspective from a lot of these guys who have made the leap from traditional finance into crypto finance, made the leap from traditional development into blockchain dev, and really hear what they think as far as price action, utilization, etc. A lot of what they say has been what we have been saying. The market's irrational, the bear market is underway. Their price target, they're saying anywhere around these levels is probably pretty smart to get involved with high upside objectives, but there could be one more leg lower. That's about all we can add to that. We've been preaching that. We've been saying that the infrastructure is being built. We know how this is going to affect price, but it's a matter of timing and when that actually occurs. Backed has been pushed back. NASDAQ did move theirs forward from Q2 to Q1 2019, which is good. And then the Bitcoin ETF is still up for debate in February 25th of 2019. We'll see what happens there as well. Really, nothing can really happen until those kind of get into place, as there doesn't seem to be an immediate bullish catalyst in the short-term future, at least until some of these other exchanges and onboarding platforms for institutions comes into play. Because until those are created, I really don't see another new retail wave. A lot of people bought at the all-time highs and got shooken out, and they're out of the market until mainstream media starts putting a positive light on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies once again. Let's do this Zen giveaway from last night's show. Here we go. Let's click on here.
To the starting gate.
I love it. Throw this in here. If you guys missed out on last night's show and you're not entered for the giveaway, well, you're in luck because there's a giveaway tonight. Yes, you can win free crypto just by being an active community member. In the comment section below, leave your Horizon ZEN wallet address, and you are entered to win. And it's an easy as this. Here we go. There's the amount of unique commenters. We're hitting the start button, and round it goes. The winner of some free Horizon ZEN is, well, it can't be us. So we'll pick
All
another
right,
winner.
cool.
Yes, our pizza's paid for.
Right. I will take that. Thank you very much.
Maverick Gold. I want to win some Zen. Well, there you go, Maverick. Your wish. I'll try to send that to you tonight or tomorrow, my friend. And you should see some Zen in that wallet. Fatten it up during these bear market times. And there you go, guys. It's as easy as that. We like to give back to you guys. So make sure to participate by leaving that comment in the comment section below with that ZEN wallet address.
Hold that free Zen for a 20x.
There you go. At this point, it might be 100x
Right,
at these price levels. So why did I have a CNBC fast money tweet up here? You know, we don't like seeing, you're supposed to trade the opposite. Well, that's because it's not about CNBC, but it's about who's on here. Mark Yusko, a well-known veteran of hedge funds in both traditional markets and moving into cryptocurrencies as well, says that he admits that he was wrong about the short-term price action of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but believes that the market is being irrational and that Bitcoin buying at this levels is almost a guaranteed 20x of investment.
Whoa.
Whoa is correct. If you do the math on that, that is saying that he thinks over the next decade that Bitcoin will easily attain 70,000 to 75,000 per Bitcoin. And no problem. He does not believe that the bottom is directly in at these levels around $3,800, but he believes an investment, like I said, at right here, right now, is an easy 20x. He also believes that the downside is limited in context to the upside objectives, like I just said. So there's another individual putting his money where his mouth is and saying that, yes, he does a lot of traditional stuff. Yes, he does commodities, gold, silver, etc., but he believes Bitcoin is the best opportunity, the best investable asset class at these levels right here, right now.
Did he also mention about a, debt blow up?
Yep.
Implosion sometime?
He was also talking.
That's got to happen sometime.
Yeah, he was also talking about a couple of years down the road that like 14% of the companies in the S&P 500 can't actually fund their debt with their current revenue per year for the next past the next 3 years. So he's looking for a big debt crisis. Not only for individual companies, but for underlying countries as well. As we've already seen in Venezuela, Turkey, and all these other ones in the coming years, 3, 4, 5 years is what I think he was kind of projecting. So we'll see what happens. He's very bullish on Bitcoin. He says that it is not just because Bitcoin is a currency, not just because Bitcoin is a storage of wealth, but because Bitcoin is here with a network. He says that some of the top companies right now in the S&P 500 aren't evaluated at the current levels because they are a business, but because they are also a network. He said Apple's a network, Facebook's a network, Google's a network, and Bitcoin is a network as well. The value of the network is not always driven by the revenues that they attain, but the underlying utilization, meaning they are getting more and more users, more and more mass adoption, more transactions, more trading, etc., which he said that he believes you're continuing to see an increase of that on Bitcoin. Although volume is down, if you compared it to 2 years ago, it is still massively higher. Although the amount of transactions is down, the amount of users is tremendously higher. Although the current hash rate is slowly decreasing due to some people not finding it profitable to mine right now, if you look at the hash rate now compared to 2 years ago, it is a severe multiple of that. So he still says that everything is trending in the right direction and that he believes the Bitcoin network will appreciate in value over the next decade for an easy 20-banger from these levels. So there you go. Got anything in the chat box? What is going on? Lloyd says, nice win on that Zen. Yeah, we love to give back to you guys. What else we got here? Robin Gomez says, under 3 is a buy on Zen. What is Zen at? Like $5 right now or something? You can get a super node on the cheap right now or a secure node.
Wonderful Bricks want to do a 3,000 or 5,000 poll.
Let's do it. We asked this yesterday and everybody was super bearish. I think there's only one person that said 5K. Let's see what the little green in the market, if it changes your opinion. Are we going to see a 3K Bitcoin or a 5K Bitcoin first? Yesterday, almost everybody was bearish, saying 3K was coming before 5. What is your guys' opinion? Are we going to see one more leg lower before we find a bottom? Or are we going to head up to 5K right now?
Patiently waiting for the end of the show. Walks.
Moscow Mule says, thoughts on the XRP 589 conspiracy. Some say it's going to make $589 by end of year. Nah, not happening. $589 XRP by the end of the year. You're crazy.
Taj, that was not one of the choices.
Why you always got to be over bearish, Taj? Just say 3K for us. Still looks like almost everybody is bearish at these levels. Wog does say 4,200 because 420. That's some good technical analysis right there, Wog. And Dewey says, checking in, usually catch the show late. What up, guys? What is up? Welcome here for the live show. Glad you're catching it. We're almost done. We got a couple more news articles, one more news article. Really some conversation, maybe a few more charts. Not a lot to talk about. Not a lot of volatility going on today. Not a lot of news going on. And no real major fundamentals, hacks, or flaws to discuss. Yesterday was a really good show. We talked a lot about various topics yesterday since we weren't here for the holiday. But, today, not too much. Man, look at that. Everybody is bearish, looking for the 3K, all besides Wog. So there you go. People are still looking for one more leg lower. You already know that I'm positioning myself to get a nice little bag of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at these levels based on our discussion yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it hangs down here for a little bit to at least give me some time to make that a reality. And then wonderful bricks, $1.825K. $1,825, $250 is what he's looking for. Jack says, I think the bottom is in, not because I genuinely believe it, but because I can brag if it was. There you go. You can say, oh, I called that. Screenshot this. All right, let's get to this last article and see what's up. See if Todd has another chart or two for us. And then make sure I can get this free Zen to the winner.
I got a Litecoin chart I'm going to show.
Cool. This article, nothing major, but Tether reopens direct redemption of fiat, while Bitfinex adds Tether fiat trading pairs. Popular stablecoin Tether has announced a 1-to-1 redemption of USDT to fiat, while affiliated crypto exchange Bitfinex adds 2 new Tether to fiat pairs, as well as a Tether to Euro pair. Now, why do I show this? Well, because a lot of misinformation, a lot of FUD has happened with Tether. I know a lot of people were getting scared when it was around 80 cents. We said, do not sell for 80 cents. Hodl it and wait for it to go back to $1 like it has, and then you can sell out if you would like. It seems like Tether once again has its doubters scratching their head in disbelief as they continue to kind of push forward, make new features for Tether, and kind of prove its viability to be a quick transaction settlement for trading in and out of various cryptocurrencies and to hedge against the Bitcoin market. Now, I use Tether. I have no problem against Tether, but right now I hold 0 Tether. So what I would say to you, if you are concerned about Tether and you rode the wave, you weren't silly and sold at 80 cents and then bought TrueUSD for $1.15 like a lot of people
Morse code did
were
that.
doing.
Morse code did that.
That is silly. That is automatic 30 cents on the dollar loss for you. Then now is a good time to move from Tether to a different option, or now you can actually go from Tether to USD if you would like as well. Or once again, Bitcoin is at $3,800, and it may not be a bad idea to start dollar cost averaging into that position. If you were like Jeff over here, he said he got out of Bitcoin at 11,000 and he's looking for an entry. Maybe you don't need to look for the bottom to get 100% in. Maybe take 10% of your money at 3,800. If we go lower, another 10%, 10%, 10%, etc., to hopefully not miss the boat. A lot of people are talking about that they are waiting on a confirmation that the bottom is in, meaning they are waiting for 5K or 5,700 Bitcoin to be hit, and then they will buy in on that confirmation. That is a good investment thesis to reduce the risk, but you are going to lose out on that 30% upside rather than if you just bought it here. The reason they would wait for confirmation is they fear that the bear market may be a long term, or we may go a little lower and maybe they need those funds. So they're willing to wait, lose out on 30%, and buy Bitcoin at 5,000 or 5,700. Now, the real question is, if that's your investment thesis, that's great. That's a good way to invest, at least with a portion of your money. But if you watch Bitcoin go from 3,800 to 5,000, are you going to actually be able to press the buy button? Or are you going to be convinced we're still in a bear market and it's a dead cat bounce and then it's going to keep running and then, oh, this is going to turn around, it's going to keep running. This is like, are you actually going to get yourself to get back in the market? So keep that in mind. So if you're waiting in 100% cash right now, it might be a decent idea to start actually using the ladder approach or the dollar cost average approach to find your way back into the Bitcoin and the crypto market. What you got over there, Todd? A Litecoin chart?
Yeah, I've got the Litecoin as I mentioned this yesterday, you had this new low down here on the bottom right of the OP, which is a volume coming from 96 exchanges. So when that came down, made a new low in price, looked like it was holding. I thought we'd have an ABC up. So this looks like a B-wave triangle. So you could have been long here at 30. You've got, maybe a $1.80 made. I wouldn't want this level to give away because that would mean that was an ABC and then we're going to new lows. So if you're trading short term, you'd be in a decent position. But I guess to try to pick up, add to your bags and things, we're going to need to see more trading and try to get some bigger divergences on these charts because right now we're just going to have some minor ones. And then somebody asked about NEO. This is NEO BTC. Same thing I've been mentioning, technometer 41, 42. So really no help from the software down here at the moment. Going to be hard to get much.
Cool.
In the volume.
There is a high degree.
We just got, here the OP's coming down. Price isn't coming down quite as aggressive, but still nothing really to talk about.
Cool. What's going on in the chat box over here? Donald Burns said, if I had one Bitcoin with Bitcoin Cash before the fork, would I now have one BTC ABC and one BTC of BTC and BTC SV, basically doubling your coins? Yes, you double your coins, but the value has dropped off dramatically in terms of USD dollar valuation. But I think you're saying if you had one Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin Cash. So say you had 10 Bitcoin Cash. After the fork, you would have had 10 Bitcoin Cash ABC, which is now just BCH, and now 10 Bitcoin SV. So you do have 20 coins, 10 of each separate chain if you claim those using your private keys or had them on the proper exchange. If you had them on Ledger, if you go to Ledger support and then go to the Bitcoin Cash area, they give you step-by-step instructions on how to claim your Bitcoin SV. I think they recommend doing it via Kraken's exchange.
Bloomberg reports that NASDAQ is planning to launch Bitcoin futures first quarter 2019.
Lloyd Christmas says, can you guys do a crypto Twitter post of the day? Wall of shame for the worst of the worst. I mean, I know a lot of people on crypto Twitter kind of got famous and got their followers by, kind of being that troll and calling people out. It's not really my style. If I hear people or see people saying some really...
They delete it.
Ignorant things, I don't think I really put them on blast by saying their name, but I'll come on the show and kind of give my opinion on what they're saying. So if you guys are kind of seeing those same things, then you can kind of maybe get a better informed opinion on those topics. I don't really like to call or troll people out specifically unless they really deserve it or they try to come sideways at myself or somebody in the community when they're 100% in the wrong. So, but yes, that would be pretty funny. Maybe I'll set up a separate Twitter account. I don't got time for that to do the worst of the day. That's funny. Estaj says, buy Zillow on the dip. News is going to pump this for the next few days. There you go. And then Ricardo Jean Philippe, welcome to the channel, says, do you think XRP is better than BTC and Ethereum? Do you think XRP will be $100 in one day?
No.
Two questions here. Number one, do you think XRP is better than BTC? I don't think that they should even be in the same discussion. They are two totally different sectors. BTC is really trying to eliminate third parties and drive a non-third party market and a transaction settlement layer there with Bitcoin, while XRP is actually trying to work with third parties and banks to kind of be a transaction settlement layer for international transactions and kind of has a totally different value propositions there. So no, I do not think they should be in the same light. Obviously, I think Bitcoin is better than XRP. XRP has its valued use cases, obviously. It's growing. But for that sector, I even personally prefer XLM over XRP. And do I think XRP will be $100? No. Nick, why can't XRP be $100? It's only 36 cents. I mean, Bitcoin's 3,000. You got to look at token economics. XRP currently has 40 billion circulating. What is 40 billion times $100? Do the math for me and then tell me what that market cap of that network would be worth. Now, can it be $100 maybe in a decade from now with hyperinflation? Sure. But I'm talking about in the short term or even in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Do I have an upside objective at XRP at $100? No. I think you saw a massive rise in cryptocurrencies. Yeah, easy does it. Is right.
Easy does it.
If Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have another bull run, obviously the XRP price, I think, will go to all-time highs. But I think if you're a super XRP bull, said I think XRP is the standard. XRP is the future of cryptocurrencies. I still would be looking for like a $10 price target over the next couple of years, not 100. And even that is an astronomical market cap. But you got to do some math on circulating supply of a coin, multiply that by the price target that you have, and that will give you the market cap or the value of that underlying product or network. I think $100 XRP just isn't feasible unless we're talking 1 decade or 2 decades out.
And since I am a licensed investment advisor, we're going to throw a disclaimer in.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
All right. So, Taj says, any plans for a haircut? Yes, I need a haircut. I need to go on like a lunch break or something.
That's funny.
That's Taj. And then Lammy J says market cap doesn't really come into it. Well, I mean, how are you not going to factor in the value of the cost of a network or a market capitalization of an underlying network? Just like Facebook is a network, it has a market capitalization based on its value. I mean, you got to consider that. Also, there's only a certain amount of fiat money to back these cryptocurrencies. So if you get to a too high a price, I hear people talk, $1,000 XRP. That literally is more, that's a higher net worth than like the entire wealth industry. So, I mean, you got to consider mathematics and to kind of try to come to a realized value for these networks and these cryptocurrencies. You can't just go in blind. And really, that's what happened with the blow off top. I think everything just kind of got ahead of itself. I think the fundamentals were lagging of what the prices we were seeing there as far as market capitalization. And now we're seeing what happens after that. So although I think this is just another market cycle, getting ready for the next bull catalyst, the next wave of development, second layer solutions on Bitcoin, XRP expansions, XLM partnerships, etc. I mean, that's what happens.
You want to mention we might do a Discord Saturday if I'm not going home? Okay, that with the wife, but...
Yeah, so we do have a Patreon. We have a Patreon-only live show that we think we might be doing this Saturday, December 1st. So for the 23 Patreon members, hopefully we'll solidify the date with you on Patreon and in Discord, but we'll have a Patreon-only live show this Saturday as well as a Patreon-only giveaway. So if you're in that, you might be able to pay for your first month of Patreon if you win the giveaway. 1 in 23 chance of winning that currently. Hopefully get a few more of you over there. Just go to our Patreon link. Maybe Todd can press the button now. Check out the different tiers. We have everything from a $5 tier up to the highest tier that we even want to charge is $30. That's $1 a day to get everything we post on Patreon, access to our private Discord where you can talk to us 24/7, as well as I think we have 20 other people in there right now too. So check that out. See what you can come up with. We talk about technical analysis, fundamental analysis, what we're doing with trades, etc. You know, we're only here on YouTube maybe 4 hours a week. So this is a way to really conversate with us 24/7 and see all the trades that's going on and what we're thinking for the future moving forward. Obviously, it's been a little quiet in there, a little less trade activity because right now there's not much volatility going on besides to the downside here. So, but that's going to start picking up once again once the market starts to settle down here.
Press that like button like a good human.
There you go. As Taj says, if XRP goes to $100, he will donate some XRP to Nick. Well, there we go. I'll take that. One XRP for $100. Thanks for the donation.
Nick will be selling his at 82 cents.
There you go.
Trust and believe.
Jay Stevens says, I would be taking some profits on XRP at $2.50 and a hold on a nice bag to see all-time highs, say $5 to $10 in a year or two. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, if I was super bullish on XRP, I mean, really the highest upside objective I could see over the next few years would be like a $5 or $10. I said $10 XRP. Like I was supremely bullish. XRP is the standard. Mathematically, that's what I was looking with.
When YouTube puts us up on like Who's Live, that's when we get the 500-600 viewers. That's why we're slower today. Michael Jones says, why XLM, target price for XLM? I mean, I've talked about XLM and why I'm bullish on XLM many, many times. I'm not going to get into all the details. I just think that I like the token economics behind XLM over XRP. Also, the co-founder, Jeb McCaleb, left XRP for this very reason to create XLM.
And XLM is creating some partnerships to expand not only from an international transaction settlement currency like XRP, but with IBM and others to really utilize the blockchain for various other purposes. And I think that utilization will give value propositions to the XLM token as well.
When Coinbase.
Now, I used to really hate XRP, and I have lately been giving them props, not only because we've been putting some good trades on it, but because they're actually now starting to use the token with the launch of XRapid. That was always one of my concerns when it ran up into the 2s and 3s, because there really wasn't a use case for it yet, and now that is starting to happen.
Taj says Coinbase may announce XLM tomorrow. That's sticking them out.
That is sticking them out. I mean, do you want to take a bet like I won that free bet? Nothing! You want to take that bet like I did?
Right.
I mean, I'll take another 10,000 XLM. You want to do a bet?
And Taj will say,
I've got balls of steel.
Yeah. Jay Stevens says, talking about XLM, one Coinbase I keep adding down here. I think Coinbase was probably striving to add XLM when the market bottom kind of fell out. It kind of behooves them not to list when there is 5 days of downselling, because then they're not going to get the same trading volume and therefore not the same trading fees upon the listing of that asset. I think that XLM probably is going to be the next one, and I think they're working on that, but I do not see tomorrow. I think maybe when the bottom fall, it's kind of solidified here in Bitcoin and the market starts to stabilize, that's when they'll be making the announcement of XLM Stellar Lumens.
I mean, let me, a couple people asking about ZIL BTC. I mean, it looks like came down here and sprung this level. That one too obviously didn't work on ZIL. But we've had this, could have been a minor selling climax. That was pretty good sell volume down here. And we have come down and sprung that with a big rally out of there. So that's big volume coming out of the hole. So Zilliqa could be good here.
Trying to dig out of that hole.
I'm going to see if I've got that in the software. But
Vlog says, my neighbors know I'm nuts. 7.1 surround sound system. Love your sound bites. There you go. That's hilarious. Then we got somebody else. We got General Lee saying OMG is a smoking buy right now. We used to have a couple people that were in here each and every day. Anthony Lazaros and Tony, or what is it? What was it called? Niagara Tony in here. They were big, mega bullish on Amisco. The fundamentals really haven't changed. The reason you're seeing downward pressure is there hasn't really been an update as far as their development. They were hoping for Tendermint and Cosmos to be released. Those are supposed to be released 3, 4, 5 months ago. Still have not been released. And I think that is what has caused the downward pressure on Amisco. I did do a follow-up review. So if you want to go to the YouTube homepage, watch the Amisco overview and review to kind of hear the fundamentals and what they're really striving to do. I still think they're positioning themselves, but once again, I've said this a couple months ago when Amisco was still like $9, $10, that Amisco is going to continue to see downward pressure until Tendermint and Cosmos are released, since they have kind of partnered with them, and their next wave of development, next phase of development is kind of tied to the release of those platforms, which, they keep saying, oh, it's coming soon, but that was like 4, 5, 6 months ago when that mainnet was supposed to be released and still has not become a reality. Royal Blue says, what will happen when Bitcoin raises higher than the stocks? I think that's what institutions are getting ready for. I think institutions are going to get in way before that ever happens, and that's going to kind of be the catalyst for that to occur. I think Bitcoin is going to be kind of like a hedge, kind of like precious metals, where a lot of institutions or financial advisors are going to say, hey, you probably should diversify and put 5% of your investable assets into gold and 5% into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, and that's going to kind of be the start as far as money coming into the space. What do you think, Todd?
Because the guy at Consensus said that, right, today? That it is going to be an asset class and there will be money headed there. So I still think that's coming.
The infrastructure is just being pushed off or being built. I think it's already built. I think they're just pushing off the release until, I think it was going to be coming when we were at 6K. Then you had the Craig Wright, Roger Ver fights and the capitulation down to this 3,800 range. So like, we'll push it back another month. Nobody wants to. That's the same thing that I thought why XLM on Coinbase might be a little bit as well, because it doesn't benefit them and their infrastructure to release this during the downtrend like this, because you're going to get less trading activity, less transaction fees, less clients to actually want to come on board, which means less money in their pockets.
A dollar Digibyte from Crispy's Glass. That's when the software here a month ago was showing a little lower, so it's not been not too well. But Digibyte was one that we used to talk a lot more about.
Crypto Bits says, if BNB is already generating a larger profit than Deutsche Bank, do you think it could end up with a similar market cap to some of the larger banks? Top 28 banks all have evaluations of greater than $1 trillion. BNB token is one that I've been talking about for a while, and one that I liked, and one that in Satoshi value is held up here probably best out of all the altcoin, like the actual smaller cap altcoins, and that's because its value is kind of backed up by finite value propositions and revenue driving ecosystem, because BNB is integrated so deep into the actual Binance exchange. It's going to be used as a settlement option for the Binance decentralized exchange. It's going to be used as the gas for the Binance blockchain moving forward. Has a lot of use cases, a lot of acceptance for various stores. It's added on the PundiX point of sale. So yes, I think BNB is a solid option here, and one that hasn't given a ton back during this bear market as far as Satoshi value. And I think that CZ is a pretty smart guy and realizes that everything he creates, he tries to incorporate the BNB token so that utility token continue to provide utility to the network and drive price appreciation.
I would think if you buy Digibyte and XLM and some of these coins we talk about, wake up 2 years from now, I think the gains will be unbelievable.
Yeah, Digibyte is one that has definitely surprised me with how bad it's being hit, because during a bear market, good news doesn't do much for price. Digibyte has had a ton of news as far as what they're striving to do, moving into the security sector, staying in the peer-to-peer transactional sector, and now also moving into Digi Assets, creating a protocol layer on the Digibyte blockchain for other projects to build using the Digibyte security and a hashing network. So, I like Digibyte for the future. You guys have known that, and we recently started talking about it, during this bear market when it was 2-3 cents. So we weren't chasing it when it was 12, 13, 14, 15 cents. We're liking it here around 2-3 cents. And that's the prices that we've been saying to add to the bags at.
And at 2.5 cents, the software didn't like it.
Yeah, and right now we're sitting around a penny and a half, 333 Satoshis.
Outlaw Preacher wants to know, I think I would spread it out over several alts as well. I think the gains will be much bigger there, but definitely way more risk. And still could be some downside. So,
yeah, I think that comes down to, are you trying to put fresh fiat into the market, or are you using Bitcoin to buy? That's why, even when I tweet, I say if you're using Bitcoin, I would buy, but if you're using fiat, I wouldn't. Well, Nick, it's the same coin. Why wouldn't I buy it with one or the other? Well, it's because based on the pricing and what the charts are saying. USD charts are going to look totally different than Satoshi charts. So you got to generate that opinion. But yes, I think some of these altcoins are near, any altcoin that is near its all-time low, that has solid fundamentals, has solid teams, go to their GitHub repository. Are they still doing code commits? Those are ones I am targeting to put some Bitcoin in to get at these Satoshi levels. Either looking for a nice bounce, because then you automatically just made 10, 20, 30% more Bitcoin, or to hodl through the next bull run. Harsh says, is there any correlation between the stock market and crypto market? A lot of analysts have been trying to create write-ups. The funny thing is, half say yes, half say no. Personally, I think the answer is no, only because a lot of the institutions aren't even in the marketplace, and even a lot of big individuals who are in the stock market aren't really in the crypto market yet. That's my opinion. Do you think they correlate, Todd?
I think they correlate more than they will not, because I think easy money keeps the stock market headed higher and then keeps speculative juices flowing. So that keeps people willing to take their stock profits and throw it to cryptos. So for now, I think they will move together. I'm not horribly bearish on the stock market. I think there could still be some downside here, but I think ultimately we probably go to new highs again, which I think helps cryptos. And at some point when the stocks turn down, if it's for, debt issues or something blowing up, then I think cryptos probably head quickly higher. So, but I don't think the market falling apart here. I think that's hurting cryptos and would hurt it in the near future.
And then Ricardo says, do you think Digibyte is better than TRX and ADA? Once again, they're kind of in different sectors, so it's hard to compare them directly. If I was choosing out of those three, I am more bullish on Digibyte and ADA. I think TRX is doing some interesting things as well, but it's hard to weed through what's reality and what's not with Justin Sun. I think ADA is going to take some time, but with Charles Hoskinson, the plethora of developers on board there, and the Cardano Foundation, I think that ADA will find itself with a $1 trillion valuation at some point. Obviously, we're talking 3, 4, 5 years when Bitcoin may be at that aspiring $40,000 mark, but I still am bullish on the way that ADA is approaching the ecosystem. They don't rely on hype. They rely on peer-reviewed code and really trying to launch products that are ready for mass adoption rather than hype products to push pricing, which will fall apart when too many users get on board with congestion.
See, there's Bill Guerra says, if he gets smoked in the stock market, he's going to be doubtful he'll want to pour more money into cryptos.
There you go.
But if the stock market turns back up, then he's probably willing to peel off some money and throw it into the cryptos, which kind of goes along with what I'm saying.
Yeah, because then I guess if you have one more run in the stock market here, you're at all-time highs, you're feeling pretty good, and you're like, well, maybe I should take some profits. You pull some of that out, throw some in the bank account, throw some in Bitcoin, and you're feeling a little more diverse, a little safer. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Andre says Peter Brandt targets EOS at 79 cents. Peter Brandt also thinks XLM is going to 6 cents. Thinks Bitcoin, I think, what is his price target, 1,500 or something like that? So
I think Peter Brandt gave a buy on oil when it broke out too, and that was the exact high before 12 days straight down. So
Peter Brandt has some right tweets, some wrong tweets, but really I guess you can always be right and wrong when you change your price predictions all the time. Peter Brandt was also saying that Bitcoin was in a Wyckoff fulcrum, meeting a massive upside surge, and then we fell down to 3,000. But
he mostly follows breakouts, I think, really. So if they work, they work. If they don't, it gets reversed quickly. But he's done it forever. I mean, shout out to him. He's been around.
Wog says, dang it, can't remember my Google password to Super Chat, and the PC is like 30 meters away and not on. Well, that's all right, Wog. You can get us a Super Chat some other time. Or in the description below, you can see the Streamlabs link down there, and that is how you actually get the donations. So if you see the names there, Super Chat is via YouTube, the donations is via Streamlabs. The nice thing about Streamlabs is it allows you to be a little more creative with it. Also, YouTube takes 30% of your donation right off the top. Streamlabs does not do that. And Streamlabs, you also can donate cryptocurrency instead of just cash. So maybe check that out at some point. All right. I mean, if there's some more questions, or we can keep chit-chatting, but really went over all the news, all the charts we want to talk about. We're planning on not talking very much, but we are about an hour now. But it's always nice just to kind of shoot the shit with you guys and see what's going on. Andre says, fair enough, he is a breakout trader. Yeah, and I mean, that's... Right. As long as people recognize that, then that's all that really matters. It's just some of these breakout traders, they kind of flip-flop more than pancakes and IHOP, if you know what I mean. He says, we're getting a fulcrum on BTC, it breaks down, and now he puts a 1,500 Bitcoin target, and if it gets there, he looks like a genius, but really, how'd that really help you? It's kind of a hindsight trade at that point, but he definitely has been around for a long time, been in traditional, been in commodities, been in crypto, so I'm not saying he's a bad technical analyst. I just like to point out if today I say Bitcoin's going to 8K and then tomorrow I say it's going to 2K, I mean, how does that really help anybody?
I got a Tesla chart here if you want to slide over. I don't trade much Tesla, so, but I will say Tesla's held up really well here with all the negative news and everything going on with Musk. So that chart, to me, probably is going to be just more accumulation. And I'd be a buyer on that if the technometer would come down and give us another buy point at some point here in the coming weeks. So, and a few people I really respect in the business, big mutual fund money managers, have been long that, and I think they're continuing to hold. So that's a high risk one, but I think it probably works higher. There was somebody asking about Funfair. That's been a horrible chart. Looks a little bit like Digibyte. So, I'm not sure that's a survivor, but one could have a pretty big rally out of here. But I'd probably be a trader of that.
Yeah, the problem with Funfair is you're really relying on users, and we'll see if they can get users over to that platform. Daryl Strawberry says, blah, 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 what a joke. BTC going to end up under $1,000. Keep hodling worthless garbage. There you go, Daryl. And Johnny M. Cool, you sent me that conspiracy video. Well, there's an example of the comments that guy was talking about, so who knows. And then Bitcoin Jedi says, Nick, so ADA can have a 1 trillion market cap, but you don't have that positive look for XRP to have a 1 trillion market cap. If you did, that would be around 26 XRP. Yes, it would be around 26 XRP under current circulating supply. But if you extend the distribution of XRP over the next few years, what is the new current circulating supply going to be? And then what would be the value of that XRP for the 1 trillion valuation? You got to understand, you're doing mathematics based off the current circulating supply around 40 billion. But by the time that becomes a reality, that current circulating supply is going to be much higher. Therefore, the XRP valuation for a 1 trillion market cap would then be lower, maybe around the $10 that I cited earlier.
I will show, somebody mentioned Snap being short. I mean, that's been a dog. Technometer's back to 51, so I don't think I'd short quite yet, but that's one that probably could be shorted, I would guess, for further downside here in a few days.
All right, so what else we got here? What else we got? I think that's really about all we got. You know, I love Lammy J, Bitcoin Jedi, S-Taj, J. Steven. Love that you guys are in here because they're very pro XRP. And, you know, I haven't been historically, although I've been giving them more favor with the development of the utilization of the token. So it's been always nice for the past few months to have back and forth debates with you guys and get insight on both the pros and cons of XRP and Ripple. Shout out.
Jay Stevens asked about Square. I brought that up earlier. I'm going to throw it up again because I do have the technometer went clear up here to 50. This has been a coin I've liked, but I did not catch a buy down here. I tried to at the lows and took some small losses on some longs, but here we are, you know, really 66, and now we've got to sell. So I wouldn't sell short that one, but I'm looking forward to the next buy signal.
Kanan said, man, if only there were some coins that had fixed coin numbers. You trying to give a shout out to Vercoin over there, Kanan? Ricardo says, last year, November 19th, Bitcoin Diamond was $93, and now it is $1.80. Your thoughts?
Never traded.
It's a sheet coin that we've never said to buy, and whenever that fork happened, we said, sell it and get your free Bitcoin. That's my reply to that. I don't know if you bought Bitcoin Diamond or some of you held it. I'm sorry. You know, tried to make that clear on the show probably. I mean, I don't like any of the Bitcoin forks, really. I think they're all kind of useless and kind of stealing branding from Bitcoin and really only hurt themselves and the Bitcoin network for that and the price action of the coin as well, because you're going to get misinterpretation from new retail investors and institutional investors. Will Bitcoin Diamond recover? I mean, I think the next bull run really is going the tide is going to raise all boats, so Bitcoin Diamond, I think, still will have positive price action for whatever reason. But no, I'm not interested in it, and I wouldn't be holding my breaths for all-time highs on that coin.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Yeah, we talked a lot more than we thought. Thanks to the chat for coming in here with some questions. That is what it is all about. I like how we can just have these random conversations. You know, make sure to tune in here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. More than likely, we'll be here talking about crypto news, fundamentals, and technical analysis. Hopefully, we continue to aggregate data to get the software working 100% once again, because that was awesome when Ty could go through any chart in the blink of an eye. You know,
you want to answer that RPD question because you're kind of the expert there.
What do we got here?
Before we head out.
Where's the question?
Mohan up there. Middle of the screen. Right there at the orange.
Nick, any way to get RPD out of CREX24 without getting wrecked with a 1,600 coin fee? Do you trust the exchange to hodl it? I wanted to move to Ledger or my Ether wallet. I think it's a 1,600, not a 16K fee, because right now it's an ERC20 token, so you have to pay the gas fees for Ethereum. Also, CREX24 right now has proven to be pretty solid. I think it is safer to be on Mu and Ledger. The token swap, I don't know how much I can say. Token swap is roadmap for 1Q 2019. Okay, that's what it's roadmap for. I can tell you that I believe CREX24 is going to be supporting the token swap. So if you leave them on CREX, you should get your ERC20 RPD swapped over to the RPD mainnet token. So maybe you might want to hold it there just for the time being to save that fee. I don't know how many RPD you have, whether that's 1,600 transaction fee really eats into a large percentage, then maybe, just maybe, the token swap is going to come earlier than you thought, and it might be worthwhile just keeping on corrects.
There you have it.
I think I handled that okay without saying too much.
Right. Well, we're done.
All right. Looks like somebody's talking about some metrics for the market cap for XRP. Maybe I'll try to scroll through and look at that after we go get off the air here, and we'll see what happens. Maybe discuss it tomorrow. Now, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you like free cryptocurrencies, leave a comment in the comment section below with your Horizon ZEN public wallet address. We'll see if we can give you some free coins. Kanan is in here from Vertcoin. Maybe we need to have another interview with him if there's more developments with the Vertcoin Lightning Network and the Litbox, which is really pushing to get mass adoption of Vertcoin, Bitcoin, and Litecoin using the MIT Lightning Network.
Thanks, Caroli. Catch another day, Bill. Dubai review. We think we're still ending a bear market here.
I think we're ending a bear market. I'd probably say we're 75%, 80% done with the bear market, and we'll see what happens here in the short-term future with the bullish catalyst starting in early 2019. So until next time, guys, I will talk to you later, and stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here at Learn Crypto. If you're not subscribed to the channel, that is just rude because we just gave you an hour of free information. So hit that subscribe button for us.
Rude to the bone.
Maybe a like button, and even enter to win some free crypto below. Peace out.
Mr. Chips 005, welcome.
New to the channel, well, catch the replay, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, live. Peace.
Spam that like.
No, I'm reach.
What is the normal Discord? We're going to run that. We got to give Walt.
I'm rich, bitch!
Yeah, he was waiting for it. That's what I was
waiting for.
waiting
for it.
I'm rich, bitch!
Peace out, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck. Everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.